Pemberton. I am in San Diego, California, and I am so happy to be part of the Canopy143 project and talk about trust. I work for a company called ProSource, and we're a business technology company, and when you are in sales, it is all about trust. Somebody could like you, but if you're not a trustworthy person, people aren't going to want to buy from you. When I think of trust, I think about whenever I was in middle school. I was a pretty trustworthy person. I would follow through with what I say, and I would do things that people asked me to do. I would make sure that I followed through and did everything. Well, when I was in my 20s, I was not a very trustworthy person. I would lie to my parents. I would not show up to places that I said that I was going to be, and that didn't make me a very trustworthy person. One of the key reasons I was not trustworthy is that I did not hang out with the best of people. You know, a lot of times when you're in middle school, you feel like you want to hang out with the cool crowd. Sometimes the cool crowd aren't doing things that you want to do. So when I was in my 20s, I thought hanging out with the cool crowd was lying. I thought that I didn't follow through with my word. You know, whenever I would go places, I would say I would be there at 8 o'clock, and I may show up at 9:30, or I may show up at 8 o'clock. Today, that would make me not a very trustworthy person. I had to learn a lot, and you know, don't take as long as it took for me not to understand trust. And because I was not a very trustworthy person, it was very hard for me to trust other people. But it all came back to you are who you surround yourself around. So when you hang out with people that aren't very trustworthy, it makes you not a very trustworthy person. So for a really, really long time, I wouldn't show up at family events, or I would say I was going to be somewhere and I didn't care about what people did or what people say. I did what I wanted, and that was not the right thing to do. So for a long time, my family did not trust me. So I had to learn to be a trustworthy person. So I changed my life around, and I started taking action. I started taking responsibility on being trustworthy. If I said I was going to be somewhere at 8 o'clock, I would show up at 7:45, because they thought that I was the old Melissa. They thought I was the Melissa that wouldn't show up. So it took a long time to gain the trust back with my family, but today I live my best life. I work for a company where trust is everything. You know, if my clients can't trust me, then I'm not going to sell them and give them the solution that they need. So it's really, really important to follow through with my word. It's really important to communicate. Communicating is huge whenever you are gaining trust with somebody, because you can never over communicate. As long as you communicate, follow through with your actions, do what you say, you can become a trustworthy person. I think it's very important in today's society to be a trustworthy person. If you want to hang out with people, you want to hang out with people just because you think that you fit in, you need to make sure that those people are serving you and making you a better person. When you hang out with people that make you better, life becomes better, and you become successful, and you really, really become on top of the world. So I challenge you today to be a trustworthy person, follow through with your word, and be that person that people can trust and show trust to other people. I look forward to talking about our next values next month. And if you need anything, feel free to call me, text me, email me. Jeremy has all my information, and I would love to tell you how I was at one point in my life untrustworthy, but today I am so happy to know that I am trustworthy. Thanks, and have a great evening.